Good evening, everyone. My name is Paul Young. I'm just going to walk you through the retail sales trends for Canada for the month of November 2015. The reason why I want to put a quick focus on this, retail sales is a key contributor to when you look at gross domestic product, and that's how you measure an economy in a country. So I want to highlight this because it kind of shows you what's happening in terms of spending. If consumer spending is down, typically people are hoarding more cash. They're feared to invest anything. So there's a lot more panic in the market, and that can kind of impact GDP. So an executive summary at a high level view for those people that are working in supply chain management to support the retail side of goods. So that could be the grocery store chain, major retailers, automotive repair shops, selling automotive cars. All that relies on the potential supply chain. So this gives you a highlighted view, those who want to know the indicators. First of all, the Canadian dollar has lost about 20% of its value since December 2014. That's significant because that pushes the price of imports up, which pushes the price of consumer goods. So that's basically, I want to make sure I clarify that position. The second major point I want to make here is automotive sales had a record year in 2015, so that kind of distorts the retail sales numbers, makes them significantly higher than where we would be other years. The reason I say that, typically with big ticket items, they're not ones you're going to end up purchasing the next year, so you have to watch it with that cycle as well. The Consumer Price Index, which measures inflation, is up 1.6% in prices from October to now. A lot of that's driven by food prices, and that's the reason why I want to bring that into this play, because other areas might be down, whether it's gasoline, gas stations. They may be down due to the lower price in oil, but other sectors have picked up that due to the dollar cost and some other issues. I put down the drought issue. There's significant issues in California with drought in terms of produce, and we also seen significant appreciation in different dollars to Canada, so depending on where we get those consumer goods, they'll impact that as well. So that's why I wanted to highlight that at a high level view. Second thing is, I want to show you that retail sales from the month to month, so from October 2015 to November 2015 are up 1.7%. So you're basically seeing that across Canada. So most of the sectors that we're actually seeing some growth. Even in Alberta, we've seen some increase from month to month. Overall for the year, Saskatchewan and Alberta have seen a decrease, which makes sense because they're in a height of a recession or a slowdown due to the commodity prices, how those provinces are working. So it's key to bear that in mind. But you're seeing other areas like Ontario and Quebec and New Brunswick have had significant impact where they've seen higher retail sales. So let's keep that in mind as you look forward, as you move forward with the trends. The next point I want to look at is looking at the segments. And that's why I said to you, if you look at new car dealers, you're seeing they're up year to year about 12%. That's significant in terms of the dollar amounts because that's about 1/4 or 1/4 of basically the total retail sales. So it's going to drive the increase there. But you're seeing every sector's up with the exception of gasoline stations, which makes sense because you're seeing in those particular cases they've lost price of the pump is dropped. So you need to bear that in mind. But if you see overall, we're seeing a lot of healthy aspects of retail sales because it's across the board where we're seeing growth. When you see across the board growth, that means it's actually showing that the economy is doing certain things. It's struggling, but retail sales is supporting some of that growth. And the reason why I want to highlight that because you need to bear that in mind as you look at the data. Now, going forward with retail sales, we're going to have significant things that are going to come into play over the next several years. E-commerce has not totally gripped itself in Canada, but it should get to a point where it's 20 to 25% of total retail sales. That'll impact the organization and operations of a retail store, so you need to bear that in mind. Taxation policies. In Ontario's case or other provinces like Alberta brought in corporate tax sites or proposals there for an Ontario Registered Pension Plan, which is a payroll tax, which will impact the cost of retailers, which will eventually impact how they operate in terms of employees and headcount. So you need to bear that in mind, as well as cost. Increases the minimum wage. That's another area that will drive costs because a lot of cases retailers pay minimum wage. So that needs to be bear in mind too as well. Consolidation. You'll likely see a lot more store consolidations or closures due to the finicky nature of stores and due to the volumes. You're probably going to see that happen. New entrants. You'll probably see like stores like Simmons or other U.S. main retailers trying to take a run at the Canadian market by looking at space, and that's something else that likely will come into play. Technology emphasis. We're actually going to go to an era where we're going to see a lot more wearable devices, That's just part of the overall flow of technology. So these are some of the areas that you need to focus on as you're looking at retail. Thank you.